will be on disability. When your health care runs out, I can be in on health care through the state for free. I went to my wife and I said, you know what? I'm not going to count on government. I'm going to count on my God. Okay? I've worked harder in the last 4 years than I've done any time before that. But you know what? I'm still a human being. I have self-worth because I worked. I generated it. Okay? And that's what we need to be. People who produce. To your point, we are consumers. We want everything now. Nothing can wait. Nothing. Everything's got to be right now. That's not how your generation grows. I know that. Well, I grew up with a lot of smart people. Oh, all right. Yeah, because it's almost impossible.
And I was told when I was tripped up there, I wanted to look at Wilson. Well, the action is, he said, Lord, trust me. Stay with me. It's a real mess.
Yeah.
Here we go. My God. No, I don't want to stop.
What did you say, 6 years? I'm going to start running in what, 4? So I can start.
I'm about to step aside so you can run. This is what we're losing. This is what we're losing. He nailed it. And again, our founders set up this country where you're free and responsible to take care of your own life. And there was a time when our families were stronger, our churches were stronger, our neighborhoods were stronger, our charities were stronger. All of that has been replaced by government. All of that. So we're not free because we don't get to keep as much of what we make. And we're no longer as responsible because we don't look after our own. Government does that. It's not right, it can't work, we can't afford it, we have to stop. That's what this election's about. That is exactly what this election's about. And I'm asked all the time, can we get it back? Can we get it back? I don't know. I know we're good enough to get it back. But you've got almost half this country that believes in this new America where they're like zombies, government take care of it. This is scary, scary stuff. I mean, you've got young people who don't understand what this country was founded on. Understand. I always go back to this one story, Danica Patrick, the race car driver, 27 or 8 years old. She was asked last year during the whole controversy, earlier this year, about the HHS mandate, ruling that Catholic religious institutions had to pay for abortion and contraceptives against their religious faith. She was asked whether this was right. You know what her answer was? That's what government's there for, is to answer questions like that. Government takes care of things like that. You almost don't want to blame her. She's 26 or 7 years old. This is how they think. That's sad. That's what we're losing. So now we have a country of people who don't take care of themselves like we used to, like you two did. You're not old enough. I can't tell you that. What? Well, short answer. Short answer is, boy, I'm not messing around. Short answer is, most politicians think they're better. Honest answer. Right. That was Clint Eastwood's best line. We own this country. Exactly. By the way, which is why I do this every weekend. Because it's every weekend, it's me getting in front of my employers. Period. Couple quick things. When Congress came up with Obamacare, they originally took themselves and didn't put themselves in it. The American people said that's not right, so they put themselves back in it. But members of Congress have the nicest, cushiest health care deal you can imagine. That's why I turned mine down, because it's not right. And when everything begins to fall apart with Obamacare, you know they're going to be the first ones off the Titanic. I'm on some bill right now that says Congress can never pass a bill that impacts the American people, not them. They have to be affected by the same bill. It's up to us, though. It's up to us to be more informed. See, part of the problem is it's really easy to rag our politicians, and I do too. But look, the American people have fallen asleep at the wheel. We have. We've let these problems get to this point.
Well, I was on the internet for a lot of American public. Very, very difficult to be informed. You have implicit media, you have a full educational system, giving out bad information, and I also call the public for not being more aggressive in advocating.
You're right. Two things. When you're in this business, I know as a Republican that the Chicago Tribune, the Daily Herald, CNN, ABC, NBC, all of these organizations are going to hate me. I know that. I know that going in. I'm a very outspoken conservative, so they throw darts at me. I don't complain about it. I think it's kind of funny. I love to throw it right back at them. But so the media is never going to help people who believe in freedom. The media, generally the mainstream media, they've bought into this new America. They believe in big government. Oh my God, they worship Barack Obama. In their gut, most people in the media, yes, most people who get into the media tend to be very liberal. That's why they're drawn to the media. Huh? Yeah, no, but really, that's the kind of person that gets into the media. They believe in big government. They all tend to vote much more Democrat than the general population. They've done studies on this for years. The media's always been Democratic, but we know that. They hated Ronald Reagan, and Ronald Reagan said, forget that. I'm going to go right up to the American people. And he did. And the nice thing about running now, I don't need the media. Look, I told you about that session where Duckworth and I sat in front of the editorial board. I guarantee they walked out of that meeting and they said, oh my God, she's not ready. But I can't endorse Walsh. They're not going to endorse me. But we know that. I don't need the media. I can go directly to people on the internet. I can go directly to people vis-a-vis YouTube, Facebook, all these things. Town halls. Town halls!
When does their endorsements come out?
Oh, I bet within the next few weeks. Yeah.
We have accessed our schools to liberals.
Yes.
So your kids are all in Democrat. But to the question, do they really like Barack Obama? Keep your eyes open, okay? Because within the next 6 weeks or so, they're putting themselves in a position because see, the liberal never wants you to believe that the liberal ideals are what failed. What it is we didn't have the right leader. If we just had a more perfect leader, so what they're setting themselves up for, they see within the next 6 weeks that Barack Obama is going to lose. They're going to throw him under the bus. And you're going to see that it wasn't the ideals, it was the man. Okay? All we need is a more perfect leader. You got to understand that liberalism is always looking to the future. Down the road, it's going to be better. If we just get a little bit smarter people, it's going to be better. Okay? But you have to be prepared to argue with a person who hasn't drank Kool-Aid. If they look this discuss an issue with you openly. Be prepared to discuss. Don't be someone who will call people names. You don't have to call people names. You only have to reason with the person. Ask them, what has liberalism brought us? Since Woodrow Wilson, it has brought us doom. We have got to get back to constitutionalism. My question is for you today. I didn't want to get off of our issue.
Yeah.
What about the separation of powers in the Constitution? We have a president right now who, when Congress was out, by fiat says all of those children who came here with their parents are going to be legal. But wait a minute. You know what my wife says? How come we are not charging the adults who brought those children here with child abuse? They brought a child here thinking that, that something was going to save them? They're doing abuse to their children. And what I say to illegal immigrants, because there's plenty of them that I know, I say, you know what? Go to your country and make it better. I understand you want a job. I understand that the opportunity is here. But I cannot grant you citizenship when there are immigrants, and I am not against immigration. There are immigrants who have waited for years in line. You cannot jump in the line and expect the full benefits of our government and of our society, of the American dream, when these people have done it the right way.
But to his constitutional point, because President Obama couldn't get the DREAM Act passed, he snapped his fingers and did it on his own. And Congress, I would argue, needs the fortitude to challenge.
That's what my question was going to be. Where is our leadership? How come? You know what? I really was excited when Baker was elected. Okay, Speaker of the House. I believe the man's got to go because I don't believe that the leadership is there. He has been outflanked constantly by the Democrats. Constantly. I respect the man, but I believe he's got to go.
I won't talk about my speaker like that.
Correct. I don't respect.
Oh, I have.
I don't respect.
I have. No. Here's what Congress can do. Congress can take it to the courts. And Obama's executive order of about a month ago, the first one on the 800,000, a legal challenge has been filed. It has been. Congress can also, and we can do this when we get back, hold hearings and drill down on what he did and why he did. The final thing Congress can do is just, don't provide money to implement these things that he does on his own. Now, we have to have the backbone to do those things. Senate can't do anything. The House can put its foot down on every single time. But it needs to be challenged legally because to me, it's a constitutional issue. I'm not going to, you know where I stand on the substance of what Obama did, but constitutionally, he stepped all over the Constitution. We can't do that. I mean, he did it twice, just on that one issue the last month. Congress, part of the problem is, again, we haven't been there, but yeah, we need to raise a little stink on those. Yeah.
No, they're undocumented. Yeah, now they're undocumented.
Democrats don't talk about illegal immigration because Democrats want them all legalized. They're voters for Democrats. Republicans don't talk about illegal immigration because we're afraid. Every time we do, the media hits us over our head. We've got to quit being afraid. Yes, sir.
Well,